Hey, this is Winston from Parkway Drive. You're watching Rock Alarm.
Hey, you're watching Rock Alarm. It's Stefan out of the Markthalle, and with me is Winston from Parkway Drive. Hey, Winston.
Hi.
Parkway Drive was founded just 5 years ago, and now you're touring all over North America, Europe, and Japan, and you're doing headlining shows. So, what do you think when you're remembering the last few years?
It's a bit of a blur. It's gone really, really quickly. It's just, it's been awesome. It's just really strange that it's happened so quickly, and that we're playing all these places, and all of a sudden doing headlining shows, and we find ourselves playing in Europe more than we find ourselves playing in Australia, and it's just a strange situation to be in, but it's cool.
So it's quite remarkable, I think. Yeah,
definitely remarkable is the word for it. We would never have expected to be doing this, so yeah, it's cool.
You released your latest CD, Horizons, back in 2007, and you're still touring. How long have you been touring by now?
On that record alone, it's been just over a year, and before that it was probably a year and a half overseas, and before that we'd done a year at home, and we started touring or playing shows out of our hometown from about 6 months after being a band, and you couldn't really tour Australia. Touring was 5 shows. That's all you could do in Australia in a row, and after that we just kind of kept going and going and going, and slowly tours got bigger in Australia, and then we went overseas. And yeah, it seems like we've been so many places on Horizons that we've been touring for a year, but we've only ever come back to the same place like twice, so people haven't even heard all the songs off Horizons yet, so it's kind of weird. We've played so many shows with songs off that record, but at the same time it's definitely not old for us yet, so yeah, we'll see.
What about the next album? When you're touring all the time, can you do something for the next thing?
We're trying to do it a bit more at home. We've started writing again, but we wrote most of Horizons on the road, and we thought this time around, let's try and set aside some time specifically for writing and put our minds to the task of writing a record, as opposed to piecing it together on the road and like being rushed. So we're trying not to focus as much as doing that on the road, and just focusing on having fun and touring and playing, which is what we like about tour. So at the same time we are writing again, but it's going to take a little bit longer this time. Hopefully we come up with something even better, I hope. I don't know.
So of course it's the music that's rewarded when you're that successful. But what about having Adam from Killswitch Engage as a producer? Is he kind of a magician?
Yeah, he is. He's really, really good. He's a good guy. He's fun to work with, and at the same time, he's a genius at what he does. So it's just perfect, I guess. We're stoked that we're given the chance to work with him the first time, and that I guess he wasn't an arsehole and let us do a second one as well.
What about the name Parkway Drive? Where does it come from?
It's actually the street our drummer lives on.
Oh, okay.
And basically the story behind it is they have a house that they built from scratch, and we've all helped building some part of it at some point in time, and their parents set up a space downstairs for all the bands, hardcore bands in our town, to jam in, play in, and we had shows there, and they put us up when we had nowhere to stay, and basically we watched this house go from the ground upwards, and it's like a second home to all of us, and whenever we're there we try and pay them back by helping out and finishing building it in some kind of way. So for us it was like, call ourselves Bleeding Wings, Dying, Burning Something Black, or whatever, or call it something that means something to us, and for us it's our home. So yeah, we call it that.
So it always has a second meaning, this name.
Yeah, definitely. I think it threw a lot of people at first. I think a lot of people before they hear us think emo band, something soft, something punk rock or something like that, or pop punk or something, and then they hear us and they're like, oh, okay. But yeah, for us it holds meaning, which is cool. Sometimes
critics say that you would be influenced by bands like Unearth, and now they are supporting you on your tour. Are you proud of it?
Not so much proud as scared. No, it's strange. We definitely are influenced by Unearth, or we were. They were definitely probably the main influence as us starting the band. We'd never heard a band doing what they were doing at that point in time. We were like, wow, you can play these technical riffs and at the same time have a heavy, more brutal kind of sound to it, as opposed to just an Iron Maiden kind of sound. And we're hardcore kids, so we just kind of, it was before the idea of metalcore was around, put it that way. So we kind of took a leaf from their book and then all of a sudden to be playing at shows with them and to be headlining over them is kind of daunting, because they're a very, very good band, and they've been doing it for a long time and they know what they're doing, and they're great guys. But I have never found it harder to go on stage than this tour, playing After Unearth. It's shit.
What a statement.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. It's great to be touring with them, but yeah, they make me work very hard.
So what about the Australian metal and hardcore and metalcore scene? Is it huge, or what's your status there?
It's really strong at the moment. It's I think like everywhere in the world, it's kind of exploded. In a very short amount of time, the amount of kids coming to shows these days is at probably an all-time high. But at the same time, yeah, it's definitely an interesting point in time. There's a lot of kids coming in that may not have the same feeling of history regarding the music they're listening to. They're listening to bands that maybe they'll listen to Parkway Drive and not realise that we're influenced by bands like Unearth or bands before that may not even be metal bands or metalcore bands, that we listen to hardcore bands or punk bands, and they think they just come in with no backing to their knowledge of the music and that music genre. So it kind of leads to a bit of, I don't know, I wouldn't say clashing of the people coming to shows, but it definitely gives an interesting vibe for the kids coming to shows these days. But I think that's worldwide. It's just, it seems like metalcore or deathcore or hardcore or whatever just went boom in the last 2 years. All of a sudden there's thousands of kids coming to shows instead of hundreds or like tens. It's crazy.
Are you the most successful metalcore band in Australia?
I think so, yeah. Well, yeah, we definitely are, simply because we're able to tour so much, and I'm not sure where it came from, but the amount of kids listening to us over there is ridiculous, and it just keeps growing.
You were part of the Vans Warped tour, and now it's the Altamont Say Never Die tour. What about the future? Are you going to take part of another clothing thing? What do you think?
I'm not sure. It just happens that these you'll find that a lot of tours these days have a sponsorship off a clothing company or something, and I think Vans are awesome, and the Warped Tour is an amazing festival to be a part of. That was unlike anything we've ever done before. It was so great. Everyone looks after each other. All the bands are treated really nicely and equally. Like even the biggest headliners are treated the same as the same people that are opening the show, which is really, really cool. And Altamont were nice enough to help us out on this tour and give us some like clothes to wear in the freezing cold, because we come from Australian summer we're not used to the snow, and we rock up here and we're going so yeah, we're nice enough to have them they were nice enough to help us out, which is cool. And I don't know, if someone wants to help us out in the future, that'd be all right as well, I guess.
What do you think of this straight edge movement that plays a big role sometimes?
Well, 3 of our band are straight edge. I'm straight edge, and our bass player and our drummer are straight edge. But I've never taken straight edge as an actual movement. It's always been a personal choice for me, and I'm not one to push my ideals on anyone else. And for me, it's worked, and it's been a lifestyle choice. And there's a lot of people out there that would see it as a movement, and there are extremists that will go out of their way to push it on people. And in any situation, I find that is more counterproductive than anything. If you want to get any message across, it's easier just to show people that it works for you, and just to live your life your way. And if people see that that's working for you, they might adopt that lifestyle. So yeah, that's always been my take on it. And straight edge in Australia is, I guess it's like everywhere. You've got your people that take it to the extreme, and your people that just do it for the sake of doing it, and then the people that just decide it's not for them and sell out. So yeah, it's whatever.
Was it hard to start?
No, not for me. It wasn't, because I drank a lot when I was a kid, from a very early age, and I found the ills of alcohol and how it ruined a lot of facets of my lifestyle that I actually enjoyed, and decided it just wasn't for me. And it hasn't. There's never been a time when I'm like, damn, I wish I could have a drink. It's just, it isn't even a thing for me. I just don't drink. It's not something that even has to come into my head as an equation. It's just my life.
Do you have ambitions to play at the Wacken Open in the future?
I'm not sure. To be honest, we don't have ambitions, full stop. For us, it's always, we've never tried to do anything. It's just happened, and we've just been lucky enough to be able to take opportunities that they've been given to us. So if anyone says, come and play this show, or come and play a festival, we'd be stoked. But for us, every show is amazing. To be playing in Hamburg is ridiculous. So tonight, I'm stoked. So if we get the chance to do another show in Germany or Belgium or Europe, be it festival or show, I'll be happy. So yeah,
it's great to see that you appreciate it that much. It's really cool.
Well, I don't understand if anyone couldn't appreciate it, that'd be crazy, because it's amazing. Like, I've met so many awesome people. I've seen so many places that I wouldn't have seen if I was just living in my town, and I get to go to a show every night and see these amazing bands that I've always loved, and I get to play with Unearth every night. So.
How many tours have you had in Germany already?
I'm not sure, 6 maybe, I think. We've been around a fair bit. The first few times we came through, we were playing to 15 to 50 kids, and now we're finding like almost every show on this tour has been like 1,000 kids coming in, and we're just like 2 years, the step up's just been ridiculous. But every time we've come to Hamburg, it's been great. I've had one of my birthdays in Hamburg, so yeah, it's cool.